Welcome to the StockMentor.com studios here in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your stock mentor, Brian Johnson. I'm making professional trading simple. And wow, what a move this afternoon by the markets. Coming off seemingly a little bit here this afternoon. That, my friends, is a big red candle down. Right back into support here, and we'll see where it resolves. Before we dive into the markets, I want you to take a quick look at this. There is a gentleman on the web. His name is Tim Knight. I'm sure that rings a bell with most of you. Very well-known blog. He had been asking for contributors to his site, so I offered my services. And he said, yes, I did post something over there, so let me go there really quick and show you. So here we are. We are at Slope of Hope. Slopeofhope.com. SLOPE of HOPE.com. Tim Knight runs this site. For those of you that have never heard of it, probably one of the most popular sites, trading sites on the web. Tim offers a lot of very insightful comments here. I do recommend him if you don't already have this bookmarked. This is one of the very few sites. There's only really him and one other place I go on the web actually at all. I usually try to keep all news out of my vocabulary because I don't want to be influenced by things, but I really respect what Tim does. I respect the work he's doing over there. So if you want to check it out, here is my post called the Dow Channel and its pullbacks. You can watch this video, and it's basically on what we've been talking about, and that's how all of these little moves to the upside move sideways to up a little bit and then resolve to the downside. So it's kind of a been there, done that for you guys. You've already know about it, but posting over there was certainly a great honor for me to help him out and contribute to his website. So if you want to check that out, by all means, please do. All right, let's break into the markets now. And here we are, back home again. So the markets fell out of bed this morning. You can see a little double top being put in here. Man, I got to tell you, I really thought we would see a little bit more of an upside move this afternoon. I really did. And it just never happened. We moved sideways all day and then fell. I mean, like crashed through the floor here. So if we go right to a daily, we can see that this move to the upside consolidated to the up a little bit. Once it broke down below this little 5-day moving average I have on there, it was all over. The bears took over, and it came in with sweeping amounts of volume on this last little bit here. This was a very, very high volume move to the downside here for the bears. I'm looking at like a 5-minute chart of the daily, and the amount of volume that came pouring in towards the end of the day is unreal. So if you guys get a chance, certainly go take a look at that. Matter of fact, you don't even have to do that. Let's just look at it right now. If I move this to, let's go to the diamonds. We usually look at the SPY. So let's look at the diamonds today, just as a for instance. You can see right here this volume that came in towards the end of the day. Now we'll do one more thing. Okay, so I moved the chart to a 1-day 5-minute, and look at the volume we were getting all day long. Little tiny spike here, on, blah, blah, blah. Huge spike right here on this big hammer. But let's just look at the average coming up into the end of the day, and look how small it was. Just little teeny tiny volume bars all day long. And then wham! As soon as this thing set in and we broke below this 200-day, or this 200-period moving average on the 5-minute, it was just every man for himself. And look at the volume come pouring into the markets on every one of these candles. Kind of slowed down here. You can't see this, but right up here where I'm moving my cursor is where the end of the day volume was on that last candle of the day. So it was way back up here. Just huge bars towards the end. Just a mass exodus towards the end of the day. And as you can see, it made for a very large move here in the last 60 minutes, slicing through the trend line, through the 50, right back down here to a support area. So now on a daily, we do have another little pullback day here. Where's it going to next? Well, of course, 9,900 is, of course, my first objective there, and then the 20-day moving average after that. NDX on a 60-minute, same type of thing. Consolidate all day and crash to the bottom. Look where it hung up. That little dotted line. Holding again. very strong and moving back down to the downside. So this is obviously a very valid, very strong trend line we're watching here as it moves up, as it continues to move, well, in an upwardly direction, not so much at the end of the day. On a weekly, you can see where that has now really changed the face of this candle, and we're just through Wednesday. We still have Thursday and Friday to go, so it could, of course, move right back up again, but notice that we did make it to the 61.8% fib retrace level on a weekly time frame. The high of the day was 1780, and we got just above it. Didn't close above this 1773, but I'm not sure, that my numbers are necessarily completely on target here. I'd have to go back and look at where this high is, but this has got to be very, very close. So a full 61.8% retrace of the entire bear rally of the bear market since we started back in 07. This is a huge move by the bulls to get way back up here, but interesting that we stopped right here for the time being. Weekly's got a couple days to go yet. SPX on a 60, look how it just sliced. I mean, through the 20, through the 50, through this trend line, and it's continuing its move down right here to the 1080 mark. Gee, go figure that the 1080 would hold as a support area. Next, below that, 1075. You can almost bet that you will see a bounce or a pause here of some sort. If it slices through this and doesn't pause, ooh, the bulls are in for it. So be watching that going forward right back here at the 1080 area. But look at this heavy selling come into the market right here, making for a very nice head and shoulders pattern. Here's a shoulder, here's a head, here's a shoulder. So now we're on our way down. I would say that if we break the 1075 area, it's got to be this 200 period moving average on the 60-minute. That's where the next stop will be. I really honestly felt, guys, we would get one more push to the upside and retest this bottom trend line before this rollover happened. And that's why we need to be positioned all the time and be careful. I was not burned in this. I actually made money on this move down. So it was not bad for me at all. It's not like I was so biased to the bullish side that I got burned on it. But my bias was certainly a little bit further to the upside. I thought they'd give a fake out move, and we maybe still will get it. I mean, there's really technically, you're going to love this, nothing broken in what we saw today. Yes, there was heavy selling, and yes, it was a nice push by the bears, but still nothing broken in the bigger picture. The bulls, yeah, maybe a tad bit concerned, but they're certainly not shaking in their boots by any means. The bears have not broken anything yet. We are still above this 1075 area, still above this gray resistance or support line, as it would be right here. So we'll see if that holds tomorrow. We'll see if we get a little bit of follow through as well tomorrow and just where that takes us. Good time to be trading, though, this afternoon. If you were sitting at your computer and ready for it, man, oh man, when it broke, it was a great place to get short. I am actually starting to build short positions in the markets. I have been even from earlier today, and I told my subscribers that I'm already starting to build a short position. I'm buying puts out into November and December on the indices. So all disclaimers aside, you know where I stand. The VIX on a move to the downside here. You can see where it bounced right off this 20. See where it's a little 20 mark there? I wonder what that coincides with. Well, gee, let's look at the weekly. No way. Yeah, that little upper trend line we've been watching on the VIX. So very logical place to head down to, and you can see it turned right at it and has now headed its way back up. This is a weekly candle. Still a couple days left. Just keep that in mind. Interesting, though, that we have touched this as I mentioned that we would earlier in the week. Apple on a 60-minute.